good. Well, we're obviously in the middle of a week's practice and preparation for next Thursday's game, and we've had a couple good days and go out and practice early today, and then coaches will be on the road recruiting, let the players have a couple days off and come back and start our early week next week on Sunday night, which is a little different for us, but works out well. And as I said, everything's gone well. Looking forward to the Thursday night game against A&M. They very similar to what they've done last year, in our opinion. Improved. Quarterback makes a lot of plays, and got those two backs. I think it's 32 and 33. Those guys are good players. 8, the wide receiver, makes a lot of plays, and I would expect them to try to pound it at us, run the football, keep the ball some. They have the capability of doing that. They run some power, do different things out of different sets, try to throw the ball downfield, take advantage of his strength. We'll have to do a good job of containing him, keeping him in the pocket. And then defensively, they blitz a lot. They're a dial up a blitz and different kind of pressures. Still have number 40 that is a good pass rusher. So it'll be a little different for our group. We haven't seen lots of blitzes, but I would say in what we've seen up to this point that we'd see a considerable number more going into this game.
Coach, you glad to have this break at this point with such momentum going, the team playing so well? How do you feel about having a bit of a break here and the change in the schedule?
Well, open weeks are always good. Gives the players a chance to relax and concentrate on their books and catch up a little bit. And same thing with coaches. Gives us time to go home in the evenings after practice, be with our families. But we'll all go out on the road tonight and come back on Saturday night or Sunday. So it gives us a chance to catch up in recruiting.
Mike, what changes in regards to preparation, mindset, everything, when you're preparing for a Big 12 team other than non-conference?
It doesn't change anything we do. Our practices stay the same, times stay the same, and we try to get our players to commit to the preparation. It's Sunday through Friday, or for this matter, this open week up through next Wednesday. The preparation is just as important as playing on game day.
Mike, Nick Martinez had big shoes to fill, obviously. It seems like he's held up pretty well. How do you feel he's done the first 3 years?
I think he's done well. He'll be challenged much more in this game and as we progress through the league schedule. But all 5 of those guys, with the exception of Lane, have done very well, and Lane played last year, so we kind of knew what to expect from him. But Coach Wickline's done a good job with them, and I think the system that we run gives them a chance to have success.
Is there anything that you can tell Brandon about, does he just have to experience it to know what it feels like, in other words, to continue to make good decisions and things like that for team blitz?
Well, he saw a lot of them in preseason. We put him in that situation a number of times going against our own defense, and so he has seen a number of those blitzes. It's obviously different in a game, but I'm confident that he'll handle them well, and I have confidence in the system that we're running that we'll find a way to move the ball and score points.
Are you guys surprised with the success Justin Blackman's had? And he's pretty much leading the nation in every wide receiver category. Do you guys see him emerging as that kind of player?
Well, he's played well up to this point. He's been very committed to our program the last 6 months, more so than when he first arrived, which is pretty traditional for a true freshman. And he's bought into the weight room, and he studies tape. He works hard running routes. He practices better than he did, and you put all those things together, and you're generally going to have a good season. And he's got some ability. He's got really good body control. He's got good hands, and he's somewhat faster than what people think he is.
Looks like he was getting closer to being himself healthy. Just talk about what he can kind of add to the offense, another option out there.
I mean, maturity and experience is one. He's played in games, and he's played in the league. So when you play a conference game, somewhat old hat for him, which makes a big difference. The last couple weeks he's looked better in practice, considerably better, I should say, than he had the first 6. And he had a tough summer. Our guys do most of their conditioning in the summer, and he didn't get any of that. And so he had to play catch-up. And Hubert likes to play football. He's coming around in that area, and he played very hard last year for us in crucial situations. He really blocked well down the field, and so he brings a lot to the table. And I think he's healthy now. I think if you ask him, I think he feels pretty good.
Coach, how do you evaluate your team now after 3 games? And how do you think the non-conference prepared you to start the Big 12?
Well, you always like to have games before you get into league play to find out where you're at. I would say that if you just took a poll from the people that follow us in this part of the country and the state, they'd probably say that we're probably playing better than what most people had expected. Either way, it doesn't really affect the way I see it or we see it. Our preparation is going to stay the same. We'll find out about a month from now how good we are. But I'm encouraged by the attitude of our team. I was concerned throughout the summer and in preseason, for you guys that had listened to our conferences when I was talking about the continuity of our team, because we had so many players last year that carried this group for 3 years. And now I feel like that these guys are coming together. I see them coaching each other in practice. I see the coaches telling one player and then that player tell the other guys the same thing, which we think is very important, that the team works together and they're developing some closeness. And I think that's very important in football, because we spend a lot of time together and they have to care about each other.
Speed and size-wise, and second half of the team you played so far this year, do you do anything different to simulate that in practice or try to get ready for that?
There's not really anything we can do. You know, we get a great demonstration squad, guys that help our program that we're very grateful to, and they give us everything they have every day. And we ask them to simulate speed, and they do it. I'm not saying that they can give us the same speed that we'll see in league play, but we're happy with what they give us, and our players understand that. That's kind of what I was referring to in talking about Hubert. You know, he's been in league games, and so he knows the difference in the speed. The kickoff team's going to get down the field a lot faster. Kickoff return team's going to get back and set up faster. Punt team's going to cover faster when you play in league, and so that experience is really important. And hopefully our players understand that. And as we progress through league, they'll start to play as fast as everybody else.
There have been quite a few people who watch A&M talk about Johnson coming off the shoulder surgery and that maybe he's not where he was prior to that. What have you seen when you watch him?
Well, I don't know for sure, obviously not being in there, but just what we've seen. I mean, one advantage he has is he's a big, strong guy, and he can fling it. So whether he's as strong as he was or not, it's hard for us to really tell, but I don't really think that's going to affect his ability to throw the ball in the seams, because he's big and strong. A player that doesn't have the physical capabilities that he has, it can affect a lot more. But a guy like that, you know, even if he were to lose a little bit or he doesn't have it back yet and still coming back, he can still throw it pretty good.
What do you think Jark is going to be able to give you?
Oh, I think he'll play.
I mean, quite a bit. Will he be limited?
We would prefer those guys play about 40, 45, 50 snaps somewhere. So I think that he'll give us quite a bit because he likes to play. He's tough. And I would say that a week from now that his injury will be close to being 100%. The doctors just say that he can practice and do whatever he can do, and I see him out there practicing, so that's encouraging.
Last week you talked about getting Joseph Brandon more involved. He's going to be on Saturday. Are you happy with what he's progressed thus far?
Joseph's doing very well for a true freshman. He still has a ways to go, and he's one of those players that will have to get a feel for the speed of the game in league play. But he's intelligent. He comes from a good family background. He's disciplined. He's tough, so he's got a chance. You always worry about true freshmen hitting a wall midway through the season, because even though they play 11, 12 games in high school, it's not like going through what we go through. So he's held up very well to this point. Justin Gilbert and a number of these freshmen that we've played have held up pretty well at this point. Open week comes at a good time for them, so they can get away for a couple days, not only physically but mentally.
Mike, with some of those freshmen that you've played, some of them have contributed quite a bit. Does that make this one of your better, if not the best, freshman class that you've had?
We'll know in a couple years. You always go through a year or two where you'll have some players that taper off, and then some that didn't play this year that really become good players in their third and fourth year. I'm very happy with the class of players that we have and what we're getting out of some of the true freshmen through 3 games.
Mike, is it a big bonus to have a guy like Dan Bailey where you know, for the most part, you throw him out there, you're going to get the 3 points.
You know, it's interesting that we don't talk a lot about that, but Dan and Quinn and Mark Erie, you don't really know about them until you don't have one of them, and then they get talked about a lot. And we take those guys for granted. Their ability to snap, the holder with Wes, the ability to hold and reliability, that you can trust them in key situations, and Dan and Quinn are big-time weapons for us. You know, Dan's been good for us, and then, you know, when Quinn kicks that ball out of the end zone, you know, everybody can take a deep breath, especially when you get in league play. You know, everybody's got guys that can catch it and go, but they're weapons, no question.